Why is the USCIS taking so long compared to the past 2 years? Well, great question. You know, they don't, unfortunately, they don't tell us the reasons for the timelines, and so all we're left to do is speculate. Now, we can probably speculate as good as anybody else, so let me speculate. I would say one factor might be the current administration. So whatever your feelings of current administration are irrelevant. The fact is there's a whole lot of focus being placed on immigration. And when that happens, of course, people get justifiably nervous. So I would suspect a couple of things are going on here. Number one, we probably have more applicants for all visa types, you know, across the board. People trying to get their situation, you know, get legal, for lack of a more articulate term. People trying to get legal because they're a fear of deportation, because, you know, there's a lot of concern about deportations. That could be it. That could be part of it. And then there have been some policy changes from the administration, and there's been a lot more scrutiny basically on immigration. So I would speculate, and again, we can only speculate because they're not releasing this information. I would speculate that the people are perhaps being a little more careful. You know, nobody down at the CIS wants to be the next guy who lets in a terrorist. Because, you know, anytime that happens, of course, it's going to get investigated to death, and they're going to look back at the whole process. Did they come here legally? Were they honest on their paperwork? And if you're a guy sitting down here at the USCIS approving these, or you're the person doing the interview, you don't want to be the guy who let that person in the country who did this bad thing. And so I think a combination of all these factors is probably bogging down the process a little bit and making it take a little longer. Now, we are seeing them take a little longer, but they're not taking significantly longer. Again, we were seeing fiancé visas around 5 or 6 months. Now that's probably creeped up to 6 or 7. Doesn't mean yours will go in that time. Yours might take 9 or 10 or 3. But on averages, that's what we're seeing. So I will confirm what you're seeing is that, yes, it does seem like timelines are stretching a little bit, but we're not going to a year. We're not going to 2 years, you know. It's nothing like that. And over time, in the years that we've been doing this, we do see it ebb and flow. Sometimes for no discernible reason. It may be a staffing issue down at the CIS. Who knows? Because again, they don't tell us why. So we don't know the reason. We don't know if they'll get longer or will they get shorter. It kind of ties into that timeline question. I mean, it really is just a timeline question. How long will it take? Nobody knows. What we do know is the sooner you file it, the sooner you'll get through the process. And the better, the more perfect your application is, of course, the quicker you'll get through the process. That's really all you can do. Perfect the paperwork and get it filed. That's all you can do. You can't speed up the process, really, and you really can't worry about it. You're either going to do this or you're not. Whether it takes 6 months or a year, most people that I've dealt with would still do it. You know, we don't see people saying, I really want to marry this girl and bring her on a fiancé visa. If I can get her here in 6 months, it's going to take a year, forget it, I'll find another girl. You know, that's not really what goes on, right? You're in love with somebody. So at the end of the day, does it really matter? I mean, it personally, of course, it's frustrating to wait, but you're going to do it anyway. Let's just get it in there and, you know, wait your turn. There's nothing any of us can do about the timelines.